Hi, Martins here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are just tuning in for the first time, you are in for a very real conversation. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for turning on your post notifications. And of course, thank you for liking, sharing to your friends and your family. And today we're going to be having a very real conversation. And I have a guest here, a very important guest. To me, someone I respect so much. And he's joining us here. You're going to find out who he is. Before we get to that, in our last conversation, the last episode, we talked about the built environment. I had Mr. Solomon come in again when we called, and that conversation has sparked so much buzz online, and I had people reaching out to us via email, a lot of people wanting us to talk about something and all of that. Please do well to just drop messages in the comment section and let us know what you like us to talk about, subsequently. Now to my guest. It's good to have you here, sir.
Thank you so much.
So please introduce yourself and tell us your name and what you do.
Right, I'm Jesse Osime. I'm the privileged minister at presence.
Okay.
And we also do real estate and other businesses.
Yeah.
So basically, that's what I do.
So you've heard it here. We're going to be talking about real estate. We're having real estate conversations here. Get your pen, get your book, your notepad, whatever you have. Yeah. So this is Kano. Were you born here?
Yes, I would say I was born here, even though I wasn't, because I came here very little, and ever since I've been in Kano. So basically,
it's safe to say that you are here in Kano. So how's Kano been for you?
Kano has been amazing. Kano has been really, really amazing.
And how is you mentioned the minister at the present, right?
Yes.
So how's ministry life?
Ministry, especially in the north, it's not like every other place.
Yeah.
It has its peculiarity.
Yes. Yes.
But we keep pushing, trusting God that, God has been faithful, actually.
Yeah.
Because comparing it to what it used to be
back then,
that there's much progress.
Improvement, yes. So real estate. Real estate in Kano. How is that market?
Real estate in Kano, it's also amazing because I feel the market is still growing, not like other regions. So the market in Kano largely, although real estate has been existing in Kano for the longest.
Yes.
Putting structure into the business and in the market. So it's been amazing because we've been experiencing much growth, greater than it used to be. The coming of social media, internet, and people like you too, putting structure into the system. And I know that with your coming and other great minds to which we'll be discussing today,
of course,
will also help the market and bring other people in.
Exactly.
So Kano is really there's space, there's room for the market. So it's a virgin breaking forth in Kano.
So real estate in Kano. First, before we even dive into all of that, I want us to from the very beginning, dissect what real estate is. Yeah. As a facility manager, I ought to know what real estate is, because real estate asset is more like the essence of my work, right?
Yes.
Understanding its value and its purpose helps set me, aside and helps it's more like a stepping stone to understanding and helping these assets gain more visibility and more value, right? So as a facility manager, this is my understanding. You as an expert, how would you explain real estate to somebody who maybe just wants to transition into that line?
Yeah, explaining real estate in a layman term so that someone in a nursery school or someone without any basic knowledge can really understand. Because when we say real estate, people think it's something. Now, real estate is every and anything you can see. And as far as I'm concerned, I've researched to the point to know that everybody is into real estate, just that many don't know. If you say you are a doctor, the land the hospital is seated is real estate. The hospital is real estate. If you own a supermarket, that supermarket is real estate. The land with which the supermarket is
real estate.
If you have a even a mechanic, that your mechanic workshop is real estate. Where the car passes is real estate. So everybody's in real estate. So real estate basically is anything, you know, going by the dictionary meaning, it will tell you is land and anything on it. But I feel as we progress in knowledge, real estate is every and anything you can see. The house you live in, just you know, the facility management is like expatiating on what that really means.
Yes.
So real estate is anything, the school you go, the ground you walk on, everything you see is real estate. So I believe in this regard, everybody should be in real estate.
Yes. So just like facility management, when we have, you know, the built environment, like behind the camera when we're talking, I told you that the built environment, of course, is like a stage where we humans live our lives. Everything, as long as it was built, it's a built environment, offices and all of that. So also real estate. And this is an interesting way to look at it, because I'm sure you that is watching, if you are a newbie or this is your first time of hearing about this, you will be more invested in this conversation. So now, facility management and real estate. From my own understanding and a lot of the facility managers out there, real estate deals with the acquiring, financing, and it deals with the big picture of acquiring the land or the property or the assets. Now, facility management itself deals with facility management itself deals with managing and ensuring that that property's value increases. So in your line of work, have you ever come in contact or have anything to do with, say, okay, facility managers, or finding that real estate experts are dabbling into wanting to manage or help increase the value of those assets, and then creating a little mishaps and all of that? Have you ever been in such a situation?
It's something you cannot shy away from.
Okay.
Because when we say it's, for instance, I give an example. I did chemistry in my first degree. So when you do chemistry, you come to a place where you get to specialize. So you see people do industrial chemistry, medicine, all of that. So real estate is, just like you mentioned earlier, is the bigger picture. So we now start having facility management, you know, those who value the property, estate valuers, and all of that. So a time comes, that's why we need each other. You see, somebody say, a tree cannot make a forest, but a forest is made up of trees.
Exactly.
So we can't, it's not a dichotomy. We can't remove facility management from real estate. So it's something you
Please, can you say that again?
You know, some people will be like, it's just managing. No, there's no way you can actually remove. So we need, it's a body. So we need each other to function, to supply the whole nutrient for the body. So real estate is large. So we cannot do without facility. Okay, you're building a facility. You know, every facility has an integrity.
Of course.
And a span. So if it's not well managed, it causes a problem in the later future. So it's intertwined.
True.
It's more like if you have a scissors, you can't say a part of the scissors is more valuable than the other part. So how will you cut? You can't cut. You can't. So
I love this analogy.
You can't separate them. So I believe a facility manager is still in real estate, but just that he has chosen to, okay, let me specialize in managing. And you know, management is more important than acquiring.
Exactly.
Yeah, because I believe for once that maintenance is more expensive than acquiring. Because when you acquire and don't maintain, you run into loss. Because even in our line of work, we see people build. You know, sometimes we need to ask ourselves, why is it that some residential area or some apartments, some properties get to the value when people don't manage them? You see, there was somebody can say, I have a property. When people don't live in the property, it dies faster.
Exactly. This is value.
You are wondering, so people living in them, people managing them increases the lifespan of the property. So you see, you can't separate the facility managers from. So I believe we all are doing the same.
Wow.
Yes.
I must confess, myself, right now, I'm also gaining lots of knowledge because
Okay.
you agree with me that this whole conversation that we're having now, it's an eye opener for a lot of people.
Of course, of course.
Having to understand that as a body, we all have different roles to play.
Of course.
Now, what is one of those famous pitfalls in your industry? I can give you one, which is very popular. People say, just like in facility management, where we have the misconception about facility management being relegated to maintenance. A lot of people, they've relegated facility management, which involves strategizing, which involves regulatory compliances, which involves so much, energy management.
Yes.
But if relegated to maintenance, I'm sure that in your own field as a real estate expert, you have those misconceptions also and those pitfalls. One of which I know is real estate being the fast money. So what are those other ones that you can share with us?
Yeah, people think real estate is a get quick rich scheme.
Yes.
I hear that a lot. People say sometimes when we are in a meeting, maybe board of directors, just in a meeting, somebody say, you people are rich now. You people are. So there's this conception. When you tell somebody, even when you're on the plane or when you travel, people, when they just hear you're in real estate, they feel like billionaires. So it's just this misconception. Actually, there's a lot in real estate, but one of the major thing I think is a major pitfall in real estate is lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
See, people may not see it that way because the more you learn, the more you earn. It's cut across every industry.
Thank you.
People really, that you've said many things today. If our audience can really, watch objectively, yes, they will learn from what you've been saying that real estate facility management has been relegated. And some people, it's a misconception because we've refused to get ourselves armed with knowledge. The difference between we and some people is just the level of our knowledge.
Exactly.
So the more you learn, the more you earn.
Of course.
See, if you are informed, you won't be deformed. So a lot of people don't want to be informed. Real estate is something, and one of the major pitfalls in real estate is people think I need to have a lot of
money to get into it.
Real estate.
True.
So I get that a lot. This is why, like we were talking behind cameras, I wish a lot of, and thank God for podcasts like this, educate people and let them know that, see, you can actually do it.
Yes.
The people doing it are not anyway better, just that they've gotten knowledge.
Yeah.
So one is lack of knowledge. A lot of people don't want to learn. Two, we live in a generation and a civilization where people just want this fast money. We just want, so people don't want to bend over backwards and sit down and let me invest my knowledge and my time in this thing to get a reward. And I can assure you, 90% of the people doing well at any field have got a story to tell.
True.
You see, so one of the major pitfalls is lack of knowledge. If we can get ourselves knowledgeable, how do I start? Do you even know you can start real estate with €0? Yes. You can start with earning commissions. Yeah. You are a facility manager.
Yeah.
You have some facilities. I will sell them and I have percentage. So that was how I started.
Wow.
Yes. I started with €0. Yes, but I made up my mind I was going to get knowledge, watching people. You see, if you want results, you must study men with results. That's the easiest way. So if you look at this thing across board, many people are not really doing well, especially in the real estate space, the facility space, because they will not get knowledge. There are people now, they can't come to you and say, many people will come to you to ask for money than they come to you to ask for knowledge.
True.
You see, it's just what it is.
That's what it is. Yes.
So
yes. Unfortunately, there's something you mentioned about lots of real estate agents or experts who are not really doing well. These days, Baba, I'm going to tell you, there are lots of real estate agents. You see this one realty, this one realty. So for someone who is seeing all of these things, the person is like, how do I come into this space where we have a lot of people?
Saturated, yeah.
When we have, like, in Kano, I can count over 20 that I know of. So for somebody who is just there, he loves what they do, has gotten this knowledge or is in the process of acquiring this knowledge about this real estate career and all of that, how would you advise, or what are those things you would say, look out for this, and this is your entry point, and this is your entry point?
Now, the first thing is, I used to tell my people that if you wait for every indices to be right to start, then you are starting late.
True.
You see, a lot of people want to know. It will amaze you that I went for a conference one time in one of the northern states, actually in a university.
Okay.
After delivering like 2 hours lecture, or about 2 hours, 1 hour something, 2 hours lecture.
Yeah.
So people were there young. It was a university in one of the northern states. Someone came to me and said, "Sir, I've heard what you say. In a nutshell, can you just give me 2 ways to make money in this?" I'm like, how will somebody give you 30 years of his life in 2 minutes? 2 minutes. You see, that's the thing. It's amazing. You see, you're even laughing.
My goodness.
And it just goes to show that a lot of people don't want to really, you see, there is a lot of hard work. I know I used to say, don't just do the hard work, do the smart work. But before you get to the smart work, you must do the hard work.
Yeah, which is like the foundation.
That's what I brought you to this level. You didn't just, you were not like this 2 years ago. So you went through the wrongs.
Yeah.
To get to this point you are.
Yeah.
So for someone who is saying, I want to come into real estate space, what must I do? Sometimes, like we were saying behind the scene, we learn on the job.
Exactly.
But we have people who want to, let me learn 5 key ways first to make them for life.
Just break it down for me.
Just tell me 3 ways, 5 ways. Even in ministry too, you see someone say, in a nutshell, just give me 5 keys. There is no 5 keys anywhere. In real estate, there's no, you must make mistakes, you must lose money, you don't want to know how much you've lost in real estate. I think every money you lose in real estate is a school fees you pay for your growth. So when you see it like that, it still fuels you. I cannot assure anybody you won't make mistake.
It's part of the process.
It's part of the process. So what my advice is, make your mistake early.
Okay.
Yes, because there are certain levels you get to in life. Certain people won't excuse you for certain mistake. Yes, and it just happens like that in life, especially in real estate. When you grow, if you start early, the chances of you arriving early is higher.
Yeah.
Yes, because excuses too. One of the pitfalls too, I forgot to mention, is excuses. We have a lot of people who make excuses. Oh, the reason I'm not doing again, people didn't buy. I have somebody who have been doing real estate for 1 year, has not made one sale. In fact, it went viral one time. Somebody said he has been in real estate for 2 years and 6 months. He has not made one sale. Wow. It happens. But will you stop? No, keep. So, and again, you made mention of a lot of people in the market.
Yes.
It's normal. The market may seem saturated, but you can still make sales. Because in real estate, it still falls back to knowledge.
Yeah.
How are you positioning your company or your real estate in the space to attract certain people?
Yeah.
That's one. And one of the major challenge I observe again is back to that thing you said on learning and pitfalls also. Yeah. For instance, I give you one clear instance. Some time ago, I saw someone advertising a property of $1 billion, of 10 billion.
Wow.
Just our group, a young man like us, advertising a property of 10 billion. Well, that's good, but I feel in a way that may not really be necessary at that time, because if you check all your contacts, who in your contacts can afford the property of 10 billion now? You see, that's a challenge too, because if you check, I've not sold for, when I started, most of our contemporaries are people who could barely afford 1.5 million. So what is the wise thing to do? You said something while we were starting this podcast that a lot of people will learn. Yeah. And this conversation will really help broaden a lot of people's scope and understanding and mindset. Yes. Okay, why will I be selling a property? Then for 10 billion when all my cycle could only afford less than 1.5 million. So what will wisdom say and knowledge? Make your property around while you see life is lived forward but understood backwards. Yes, so while you aim for tomorrow, understand your process so you don't lose your process while aiming for tomorrow. Some people are so fixated with tomorrow that you may never even get to if you don't arrange your today. Yes, so you enjoy the process. You start selling land of 500,000. So if you do well, because I believe one satisfied client is better than 5,000 Facebook adverts.
True.
Because someone telling, so I've got people buy from us. I don't know them. They just say, so person, give me your number. Even yesterday, I got a client who told me he got my number from somebody that got my number from somebody. So that's just how the business framework, just like you said. And I've watched one of your podcasts when you mentioned something like that, interviewing someone. So I believe even though the market is saturated, there's still a place for everybody.
Yeah, so you mentioned something very that struck a chord, and I have a question that I want to ask regarding that. So far, to be very honest, I've learned a lot. I don't know about you. I don't know if you're paying attention or you're distracted. Please do well to pause and do whatever you want to do and then play, because lots of knowledge and everything is being shared here today. Now, something about someone for the past 2+ years has not sold anything. There's this I don't know if I should call it a myth, or there's this perception out there that real estate only favors women. I don't know if you've heard about it before. So is this true?
There
are lots of, sorry to cut you, there are lots of intricacies. There are lots of, but then is this true? As somebody who has been there for over a decade.
I can't say it is or is not, because there's a point we get to in life. We need to put the dials and let people pick from them. So you see, ladies has this advantage, not even in real estate space. It just happens generally in life, but that doesn't mean men also don't prosper in real estate. You said something when we started, how that we meet each other, we meet everybody together. So ladies just have this, this we are like call it glory or advantage. You know how it is, But that won't stop us from doing what we have to do. Because sometimes these ladies also need us too.
Of course.
So we need each other
to work together. Yeah. So thank you so much for helping us bring clarity on that. So you that is watching, be the news carrier, be the ambassador of spreading good news. Don't go there and start saying real estate only favors women and all of that. Both genders need each other to succeed and survive in that industry. So I think we're getting to the end of this conversation. So far, I think I've gotten a lot, and for me, I'm still going to sit with this when it's out to rewatch and also digest all that you have said. What are those myths about real estate?
Like one, you've said maybe 2 or 3. One is real estate favors women more. 2, you need money to do real estate. Sometimes when you tell people do real estate, they be like, I don't have money, I don't have. See, but one thing I really feel it's important is leverage. Real estate, leverage. And it's from the root word lever, to climb. Everybody has got something. But this is why it all boils down to knowledge, because you see, when you don't know, you can't achieve.
True.
And knowledge is such that when someone is ignorant, it can keep such person bound for a long time. Because ignorance is more dangerous than the devil. Yeah.
True.
So we need to go for knowledge. I mean, when you tell somebody real estate, they just feel we cannot do it. Oh, we can't. I was in a conference one time, and somebody, we just like we're doing now. So people were asked to do. It's like an empowerment program. Want to empower people? Come and tell us what you can do. Somebody cannot mention 10 million because it's big. His feels is big, and it's not really that the person cannot, but his knowledge level. I give you another example. If you get a young man now, and the person's mindset is 500,000 naira,
Yeah.
or let's say 100,000 naira.
Yeah.
If we give this person 10 million, do you know what he will do? He will buy food, buy car, buy this thing. As soon as the money gets to
that.
100,000,
Yes.
it comes back to himself.
Yes.
So you now see, when you get knowledge, the money will come.
True.
But if we give you money, to prove my argument, how those people who wants to be a millionaire, how many of them are millionaires today? Yes, because when the word empowerment is knowledge driven. Yes, but largely we stay in a society where we don't really value this thing as much.
Very true.
Yeah, so when you give people knowledge, when you give them small resources, it multiplies. But if you give, one time we were having a challenge with a young man, we were saying, you are wealthy, why don't you empower your brother, give him money to succeed? People were bashing him, village people, everybody. One day he called us and he was showing us his app. He has given him 10 million, 15 million,
Wow.
10 million, 15. You know, there is more to that which meets the eyes.
Of course.
When you don't hear the other side of the story. So a lot of people come into this space because we bought a property for someone 3 years ago.
Okay.
For 5 million naira. And this person was, I want to sell because in the real estate market, like you said, we'll be doing episodes.
Yes.
We can't really explain everything
Yeah. Yes.
So just in the length and breadth of the story, we bought this property for 5 million naira at that year. Excuse me. So 3 years later, the property was going for 35 million. We were the one who went, I was the one who went, withdrew the money from that young man's account because he will not. So some of us need this pushing. It brings us to company. What are your association? What kind of friends do you keep? Yeah, so all these things fall inside. So those are the needs. I can't do it because it's expensive. It's a woman's world. Oh, the money is too much. How will I start? I need to get these things before I start. So these are the needs. Or there's plenty money, so let's go and embezzle money. It doesn't really work that way. So these are the needs. But all these needs can be cleared with the right knowledge.
Yeah, with the right knowledge. Cannot be overemphasized.
Yes, sir.
So we're in Kano.
Yes, sir.
And then we have hotspots. I know you have hotspots. Like, you know that when I have a property, for example, in Nasarawa GRA,
Yeah.
in less than 3 months, that property, that amount that I got it for, will probably just skyrocket.
Of course.
And I know of a place like in Paniso.
Yeah.
They are selling properties there. When you acquire such a property in that place, you might stay a little bit longer. Say maybe.
Yeah.
So what are those hotspots in Kano?
Well, the
And before, sorry to cut you, before you respond, I am also looking at, of course, you have your company. You're going to mention and tell us what your company stands for in case we have somebody who may be watching and wants to invest or maybe wants to purchase a property, or have been finding it very difficult to, invest in Kano, because a lot of people, I have friends outside of Kano who want to get into this whole real estate, but they are not confident that it will stand. They are very skeptical. So you're going to share all of that. So please.
The question you asked about the hotspots in Kano, you see, the word, certain terms in real estate are relative.
Yeah.
For instance, in our company, we don't just, someone comes into the company and be like, I want to buy land. I have 1 million. You see, we don't just sell land. We sell the future. And the future is cheaper when you buy it today. So I do some like consultation.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your investment goal? Because if you use your upkeep to buy land, you will sell the land for your upkeep.
Please, for the benefit of somebody that skipped that, can you say that again?
If you use your upkeep to buy land, you will sell the land cheaper for your upkeep.
Wow.
Yes, because people just say, a lady came to me one time and she came with 1 million naira. I want to buy land. 1 million naira. So I said, okay, what do you do? No, really, we need the money. We need to make sales. But I just discovered, is it really about sales? Just collect people money and buy? No. Sometimes you counsel people, you consult for people. They may not thank you now, they'll thank you later.
Yes.
Excuse me. So when she came, she was like, she has 1 million. I want to buy land. And I asked, what do you do? What do you do? Because we are close with this lady. So she's into fashion. So I said, you mean just fashion give you 1 million? She said, yes. I said, okay, you don't need to buy land now with this 1 million. Put it back to your fashion business. Because if this business can give you 1 million, it will yield more.
Yes.
So she did that. And in a short while, she got more than 1 million from that business.
Wow.
Yes. So when she brought the 1 million, I said, okay, now you are going to buy land and do land banking. You buy and just keep. Since you already have cash flow, you know, because if we start to fragmentize how the money market work, you know, you need to focus on cash flow. Real estate is more of investment.
Yes.
Yeah, because many people don't understand the difference.
Yes.
So we got that land. And again, the hotspots, when we come to hotspots, a lot of people don't really know about this aspect of real estate. When you buy land of, for instance, 5 million naira and you buy land of 500,000 naira, the difference of their return on investment will not be the same. You see, yes, but many people don't understand because that's why I love when you talked about the means. Because somebody say, I don't buy land. It's supposed to be 3 times in 1 year. It doesn't always work.
Yes.
You see, but in our company, what we do, we educate people. Say, okay, this land you are buying now is land banking. There were lands I bought or we bought as far as 5 years ago. Yes, we bought for 500,000 5 years ago. In fact, of recent, someone was pricing one of those land for 3.9 million.
Wow.
5 years ago. So can you leave 500,000 for 5 years ago? So these are some of the, you know, stuffs we educate the people. You need to know these things. So when you are buying, you know, okay, I'm buying to keep for X amount of time. I've seen some cases when someone buys the land today and in 1 month, I need money, I want to sell. So you see, you won't really make, except in some instances, and those are just the 10% of the 90. So when you buy land in somewhere, let's say like Nasaraja, the returns will not be like when you buy in other places.
Of course.
You see, all these things are what we educate the people about. We sell properties, we sell lands, and then we need to know some people's investment goal is not for now, especially for young people.
Yeah.
But you know, we can't be putting age to it because I believe youthfulness is a thing of the mind. If you think you are young, you're young. So I know of a family who every time they give birth to a child, they buy land for the child.
Wow.
Yes, people have gone to that level now. They just go to the outskirts, wherever. I have 500,000, put it at this child's name. We did a class, and after that class, the family came to me and said, we love what you said. We want to do this for our child. Okay. We are buying a property for every child we born. We buy that property and keep. Wow. When the child gets to 18 years, of course, you know what the property we're talking about. So every wealth you see today is intentional. Nobody just stumble into give me 5 keys in 1 year. You know, it doesn't work. That we must be intentional. So this is what the market.
So it's safe to say that your company, which you're going to tell us the name right now and maybe how to reach you, is doing a lot. It's like an institution.
Of course, that's
you educate people, you try to let them know this and this and help them make the right choice. So please, what's the name of this company?
JHillthon Properties. JHillthon Properties.
So how do we reach you? Are you on social media?
Yeah, we're on social media, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, even on personal contacts also.
Yeah. So you're going to be seeing this company. Just look down, you see it there. And then I think this is one of the questions I've always wanted to ask.
Yes.
Documentation.
Yes.
What's the major challenge when it comes to documentation? I used to hear CFO, I used to hear a lot of, so what are those major challenges and which documents? I know they are all important.
Yes.
Which one is the one that when they say, okay, is this one? If there's no this one, you're not even serious.
You see, documentation for in different states varies.
Okay.
If you are getting a land, let's say in certain areas or region of this country, if you are getting it, it's not always the same as it were. So when you hear CFO certificate or RFO certificate of occupancy, is a broader something. Some people just buy a land of 550 square meters and they want CFO because they've been hearing CFO.
Wow. What is CFO?
a certificate of occupancy, and it is valid for 99 years because all lands belongs to the government. Yes. So when we buy, there is what we call deeds of assignment. So this legally binds us together. Do you even know in this region of the country, not to sound in a way, you see, we largely live among people where even a paper documentation can hold ground in the courts. Yes, but people don't. You see, it all goes back to knowledge.
Knowledge, yes.
You see, I have a friend. When the parents came, he told us this by himself. When the parents came to Kano, they were living somewhere in Dakata. So in the 80s.
Yeah.
So the people just came and said, we want to sell this land. There's one land in Dakata, but I won't mention the name. So it's a very large, it doesn't have an end, as it were. You know, then how they buy land is they pick a stone and throw. Wherever the stone gets to, that's where your land. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's how they buy land. You pick from the four corners, you throw
a stone.
Then you turn this way, you throw. You turn this way, you throw.
Wow.
Yeah. So to buy the land then for, I think, 60 naira or 50 naira at the time, which he had the money to buy.
Yeah.
But because Kano we born, we leave Kano, we are not interested. We didn't buy the land. And we have lots. I meet that every day in this business. People say, I wanted to, do you even know, 2018, a woman reached out to me. She was having about 600,000 naira at the time. She wanted to buy a property. So I took her to a place, but it wasn't developed at the time.
Yeah.
So I gave her the place. This is it. So she said she was interested, but she needed to come with someone to also see the place.
Yes.
And we get that a lot.
Yes.
People say, I'm not convinced. Indecision. Yeah, people are indecisiveness. So she came with somebody. When the person came, he said, here in our bush now. And I've always said in my classes that every city you see today was once a bush.
Yes.
And every bush you see with time will be a city.
Yes.
So if you come to a city, drive 1 hour to anywhere from the point of that city. The city is coming there. So, So she said, no, this is wisdom. Just want to eat our money. She was interested, but the person she brought discouraged her. You know, she didn't buy the place. Yesterday, I walked through that place with somebody. There's a duplex standing on that ground.
Wow.
Yes, and in land, if a property around that area is not less than 5 million.
And this is how long ago?
Just 2018, just before the COVID. Everything changed after
COVID-19,
Yeah, the prices of properties, everything changed after the COVID. So you see, the first documentation, agreements between us. So it depends. I feel it depends on the level of the property. Okay. You can't be buying a property of 600,000 and want to, even if it's very important, and you say you need the CFO, you need to get to a certain level and say, okay, for a start, because that's documentation has limited a lot of people. They say this property does not have a CFO, but there's an agreement in legal, so you need to make your search to make sure, and that's where integrity,
due diligence, and all of them,
that's where integrity comes in. Yes, you need to buy from a reputable. I, for once, I don't really do business with people who have nothing to lose. It's something I learned earlier in this business. So I look at, is this person, okay, if you want to sell a property of 20 billion, you need to, I'm not saying you must have 20 billion, but there are certain things you look at for. That's one again. Two again, this, because there are a lot of scam in the system.
Yes.
A few days ago, someone reached out to me. He was bringing, because one of my promoters, he was bringing somebody to get a property, and the area the person mentioned to get the property. What I do is, before you take them somewhere, there are certain questions to ask. What's your budget?
Yes.
What's your investment goal? Like you mentioned earlier.
Yes.
So the person's budget was, let's say, 3 million naira. And the place the person wants to get a property there should not be less than 18 to 20 million naira.
Wow.
Yes. So I told the person, I said, this is not possible. He said, oh, somebody showed me
there's always somebody.
Somebody showed me last month. It's 3.5. So I said, this, you see, for you to be scammed, you need to have a level of greed.
True. That's just what it is.
Someone showed you a property. Me and you know that this property here, there's no way you can get a property here for 3 million. But because you say, I want to go to abroad now, it's a distress sale. You run into trouble. Yes, greed. So if people have come to me, sir, we are scammed. When you later go and do your back findings, you discover you should be scammed too.
Of course.
You know, someone told me he wants to sell a land inside army barracks. And somebody bought a land. He said, "I'm embarrassed." It's amazing, you know. It's amazing.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
amazing.
That's
Now the person
industry.
can't develop his land.
How would you even enter
You
there?
understand?
Where would you start from?
Understand?
So it's been amazing, to be honest. I want to ask for something.
Please,
I
go
feel like we're going to have more of these conversations
Of course,
because
of course.
I want to believe that you that is watching, you have questions.
Yeah.
And after this episode, you want to sit down and, you know, like my spiritual father, he always says, if you listen once, you've not heard.
That's
You
right.
need to sit with it and digest it very
That's
well.
right. That's
So please, when you watch this, watch it again and again. And then I'm sure he'll be joining us again very soon so that we can
course.
talk about other aspects that we have not talked about today. Please do well to digest this and for your own benefit. I really want to say thank you.
Thank you,
On behalf
sir. It's a
of
privilege.
FM Affairs, the crew, and everybody who's involved in making sure this production comes to life. I want to say thank you.
It's a privilege.
And
It's a privilege.
we look forward to seeing you again.
Of course, anytime.
And so
Anytime.
now, I always do this at the end of every of my episodes. If you are to come back, having understood what FM is, that's facility management, you also know, of course, real estate and all of that. If you have an opportunity to come back again in another life, facility management or real estate, which will you put more of your energy in?
You see, like we said earlier, there's no way you can do facility
Without,
and not do
of
real
course.
I will do the two. Yeah.
And there you have it. Thank you so much, Mr. Jesse. We really appreciate your presence here. And please, thank you for sticking with us. Of course, this is longer than usual, but it's worth your time. And I'm looking forward to your likes, your shares, and of course, you subscribing and, helping us to click that notification bell. And please stick around because we're going to be having more and more of these conversations. Thank you so much.
And one more thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Please like, share,
Yeah.
subscribe.
Yeah.
Because we need this video to get to much more people.
Yes, very
and Lord
important.
will bless you as we do that.
Thank you so much, and God will bless you too. And I'll see you soon.